All right, Kat, I think we can go ahead and start.
Okay. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Thanks for taking the time to have us come out and talk to you today. EasyOrder is a really important tool for you guys. It allows you to be more progressive, and in this world, especially of commodities that we live in and that we sell, it's really important that you set yourself apart from your competition, and then on top of that, you have all the tools available to sell to your clients that you can. And with companies who are traditional brick and mortars, like the big bomb that dropped yesterday with Toys R Us going out of business, one of the largest U.S. companies in the world with 800 locations, it's because online sales took away their business and ate their lunch. And so you guys selling things that also you can get everywhere are going to need to be progressive and have a way, especially to sell online. But I'm going to show you today how EasyOrder gives you a leg up on your competition even more from others that sell online, because it's so unique and it's different than anything else out there for online sales. Everything is pretty much e-commerce in the market for online sales. E-commerce means you tell your customer, okay, customer, if you want to buy from me, I'm going to do all this advertising. You find my website. And then if you find my website, let's start an account, fill out all this customer information, then find all your cartridges and printers, and then place an order. And then from placing the order, you have to fill in your billing, your ship to, your payment information. All that stuff needs to be filled out before you can actually place an order. And so even online sales are very cumbersome and hard to get. With most websites, like I said, you have to search engine optimize, you have to promote it, you have to get people to come there. And that's a huge expense and takes up a lot of time, and it's really just a gambling game. So it really doesn't pay to have like an e-commerce website where everybody can come and you see all your products at once and everything like that. So with EasyOrder, a long time ago, not to get too far back, but I come from the same industry as you guys. My father and I used to have a brick and mortar ink and toner business. We ran it out of his pharmacy that had for many years, and we sold ink refills and then eventually did toner refills. And part of his vision for the way we would sell online was not normal e-commerce. He wanted it to be more customer driven. He's always been all about the customer. If you can create a good experience for your customer, that they're going to reward you with their loyalty and their business. And so what we decided to create was something where we create a service for the customer, so we can still sell online, but we don't do the traditional way of you come and find my website and order from me. We tell the customer, hey, look, we want to do business with you. Let me know what you have in your office, and we'll create something for you, and then you can order online. And so that's the difference of EasyOrder and a traditional e-commerce website, is that it's almost like a service, an extra service you give your customer that, yes, they can order online, but they're not going to have to do anything other than actually place the order from you once you get them set up. And so what I'm going to do today, since everybody's kind of all over the place, whether you have an EasyOrder account or not, whether you're a global partner and you haven't seen this before, I'm going to kind of go through the basics just to kind of show you how it works. And then if you guys want any more information from me and maybe a deeper dive, we have tons of stuff online as far as training videos and things like that that I can show you, or if we can do a one-on-one training, we can also schedule something like that. Okay, so first things first, when you want to log into EasyOrder, you go to CartridgeReorder.com. This is the URL, CartridgeReorder.com. From there, you're going to insert your username and password. The username will be in the welcome email that you get from us. This one is CW-demo, and then there's a password associated with it. For the global partners, I do have a Cartridge World demo account that I set up for Renzo last time. And it basically is just a fully working demo account that's not attached to billing or anything. And I can give you guys the username and password after that, and he can provide that to you. And then you can just jump in that account and play with it. As many people as need to be on it at a time can be on. So nobody will be clashing with anybody, and you can use a fully working demo account. But once you log in from Cartridge Reorder and put your username and password, you get to this screen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, hold on. Just give me a second. Do you want to log in so you can do the same as he's doing? You want to live or?
If somebody wants to follow live, they can.
Ken, you want a username and password so you can log in?
Do you want to give that corporate one out?
What's the password?
The corporate one is the username is Corp Training, all one word, Corp Training.
All right, hold on, just leave that there. I'm gonna sign in. No, I'm just gonna go to the computer. Because everybody else is kind of right? No. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Stop. You want to do the same or? No, you don't need to.
CartridgeReorder.com.
Corporate training?
What was that? Corp Training. He's right there.
Yeah, Corp Training is the username, and then Corp is just the password.
Corporate.
Lowercase.
Scroll down on that. Hold on.
Yeah, it's
Hold on. Okay. All right, good. Go ahead, Kat.
Okay, so once you log in, let me get back to this screen. I'm going to be in a different account. But you'll see basically this is what's called your control panel. This is where you set customers up. This is where you do quotes. This is where you kind of administer the EasyOrder system. And so we're going to go through creating a customer. So the first thing you want to do is go to Manage Customers right here. Everybody click on that. And what you'll probably see is blank. There'll be no customers there because we haven't created any customers yet on yours if you logged into that demo account. Or if you have an account and you're logged in, you'll see customers like this. In EasyOrder, everything that you're going to want to do, all the action buttons, we call them, are up here at the top. And most of the times, if you hover over a button, it'll say what that button does. So, you know, add a new customer, delete a customer, anything. We try to put that over any of the kind of active items so that if you don't know what something does, then you can hover over it and it will tell you. So to create a new customer, just everybody click on New up at the top. That's going to take you to this Add Customer screen. And from here, this is up for you. Everybody has to make up a different customer name because we can't all add the same customer. So just think of, let's just say your first name and call it company. So I'll go Cats Company. And everybody kind of do that are following along. And from here, the first thing you want to look at is that another thing that offsets EasyOrder, makes it different than anything else, is with a traditional e-commerce website, any product you put online for your customer to see, just like it would be at your shelf in your store, if the customer sees that price and they pick up that item, that's the item what you have to sell that item for. But with EasyOrder, because it's a closed ordering system just between you and your single customer, you can have any kind of pricing you want on the product for that customer. And so if you have a customer who you give a better deal to because they have higher volume, you can give them the better deal. And let's say that's customer A, but then customer B is just a regular customer, you could give them a different price and nobody's going to know the difference. And so that's another really positive thing about EasyOrder. And so if you do give a customer a special price, you can sit there and lock, you just click yes, and that will lock prices on this customer orders form if you're giving them special pricing. So just know that that's another good thing about EasyOrder is that you absolutely do not have to have the same price for the same item across order forms. On here, you can just fill out some basic information. I just go accounting, just put in whatever bogus address you want to.
We got a question.
The prices for the special pricing at any time?
Say that again. I missed the first part.
And you unlock the prices, right?
Yeah, you can lock them and unlock them at any time. And in fact, if you do like a price update, you can say, I want this price to override all the unlocked order forms. So you can just push it through all the unlocked order forms for that one item that you're updating.
Okay, thanks.
So just put in some basic info here. Don't worry about these kind of things down here. These are just for sales reps and for different things like that. So once you have the address filled out, just click on save, and that will save that customer.
I think we have one sales rep here, so do you want to go through that?
We'll go through the sales rep part when we are actually, we can talk about the sales rep section, and I can show that all over again.
Okay.
Tell me what everybody's gotten to this add location for their own company page.
Everybody got there? Yes.
So I want to show you the difference between a customer, which is what we just added. Kat's company is, or your company you just added, is the customer. And so now we're at a page where it says add a location for Kat's company. A location means that Kat's company could have one office, or they could have 400 offices all over the country that you're servicing. And I have actually helped many cartridge worlds go from getting 1 or 2 accounts to getting the entire company's business, through EasyOrder. And so when it asks you for this location, it's basically indicating, is this one single location for Kat's company, or does Kat's company have 40 different locations and we're starting with this one? And so here, if the company has just one location, just leave it filled in the way we have it filled in for you. But if there's multi-locations for this company and they have 30 or 40 locations all over the country, then basically you can change this, and it could be, store number 234, or it could be, Austin. That's where we're at, Austin, Texas. So it could be, now I'm setting up a location for Kat's company in Austin because I changed the location name. If you want to leave yours filled in the way it was with just your own company name, you can do that as well. And just leave it like that. And that'll indicate that there's just one location for the company. But I wanted to explain that because some people do get confused about what's a location and what's a company. And a company is kind of the main name, Kat's company, but then the location will say whether that location's, a store number or a physical city or any other indication that they have multiple locations you want to service. So that's where you put the location right there. Everybody can just keep it Kat's company, and that's fine. Everybody will have to put a login that's different than everybody else. So put something in that's unique. The system will tell you what's unique. I did Kat's Code 33, and it told me it's available, so I can use that. So everybody put in some sort of login, and then when it says available, then you're good to go, and I'll move on.
So you put the login and then what you do?
If you just put the login and it says available, then you're good to go, and I'll continue.
Quick question.
Yeah.
The password, that's the password that they would use to see their side?
This is the password we generate. It's a secure password. You can absolutely change this password to anything else, but you'll see down the line when I show you how the customer really interacts with the order form through this desktop icon. They never even see their username and password. They don't even have to even use it. And so you can keep this secure password in here, or if you want to do, like something simple as the password that, if they ever have to use it, you can change it. But we put that in there for you to keep a secure password. And because again, most of the time the customer will never even see or use their username or password. It's all embedded into that desktop icon. So then just put your name. You're going to be the customer in this case, and put your email address. Just type all that in. You can put a bogus phone number in if you want to.
That's the customer's email, or that's
This is the customer's email, but I'm saying for the sake of this demo, everybody put in their own email address so you get the correspondence like you're the customer. We want you to get the welcome emails. We want you to get the order emails so you can see what the customer's going to get on their end.
I've been setting up a regular customer.
Only the things in blue are required. So once everybody has all that filled in, the next part of this order form is the order reminder. And this is another, again, feature that sets EasyOrder apart from traditional e-commerce, is we are a system that really helps you keep in front of your customer. And so a lot of times when I ran my business, I'd see an old invoice for an old customer, and I go, oh, Catsco, I haven't talked to them in 6 months, and I just never thought about talking to them because time went by and they didn't order. And by the time I realized that and I went back and checked on them, they were like, oh, we're ordering from this other person. Sorry, but that's what we're doing now. And so this order reminder, if you set it to a frequency that the customer orders, 90 days, you can do 120 days, whatever their order pattern is, you can even guess and just say, okay, I'm going to do it every 90 days. EasyOrder will send you reminders, hey, you haven't heard from Cat's Company in 60 days, 90 days, whatever you put, you may want to check on them. And so the system will send you a proactive email to make sure that this customer doesn't stop ordering from you, and then you don't hear from them, and then when you finally do come back to them, they're ordering from somebody else. So it helps keeps you in the loop. We also have a tool in the automated email section where you can turn it on to where the system will actually send your customer an email as well, saying, hey, we haven't heard from you in a while. One of our reps will be contacting you again. So the system can help you follow up on customers who haven't been ordering in the time frame that you kind of think they should. So the order reminder is a great tool. It really does help you keep in front of your customers and make sure they don't slip through the cracks. And you set that right there.
Sends it to the customer.
It can. There's a way you can turn on this automatic email section where we can send out automatic emails based off things that are happening in the system to the customer. And if you turn that on, it can send a customer an email that says, hey, we miss you. We haven't heard from you in a while. One of our reps will contact you. You can actually also control the body of that email. So if you want to make that custom to whatever you want to say in that email, you can do that as well. But you actually have to turn that feature on. I'll show you that feature in a little while when we get through that in training.
Okay, so when you turn that feature on, it goes to all of your customers. It's not that you control on the customer.
Right. Any customer who has not ordered in that threshold that you've specified will get the email if you turn that on. And a lot of times people will turn it on where the system sends the email when they're first getting started with EasyOrder. But as they go on, maybe they turn it off and they just get the notification themselves when the customer hasn't ordered, and then they can follow up on their own. It's really up to you how you want to use it. If you want to send the email to the customer, you can. If you don't have to, and you can follow up on your own. But either way, the system's going to notify you the customer is out of their ordering pattern.
So if you were to set it to notify them, it notifies all customers. If you
Yes.
do a reminder blank, it doesn't send it to that particular client?
Yeah, if you just set it to 0 or leave it blank, it's gonna not send the email out at all.
Okay,
But
perfect.
that one comes to you though, the order reminder. He's
Yeah.
talking about the one that sends it to the customer.
Yeah, and you're gonna want to know. So if you don't want it to send to the customer, just turn it off as for the automatic emails, and you'll just get the notification. You still want the notification regardless if the customer hasn't ordered from you, So you'll always want this, but then as far as sending it to the customer, you decide whether or not you want to turn that on. And if you didn't want it to go to the customer or you can set it to 0 and it won't notify anybody.
Hey, Kat, does it make a difference if you leave it blank or put 0 days?
0 and blank are considered the same thing.
Okay.
Because if I X out of this, it keeps putting 0 in. It's basically 0 is null. So the next thing is if you do have sales reps, you can actually tag the sales rep that you have to the customer. And so let's say this was, a sales rep named Frank. I could tag Frank in this Catsco company, and then everything that Catsco did would be recorded under Frank as a sales rep. And then you could run monthly reports to see how Frank's doing and with his customers and things like that. And we'll talk more about sales reps in a minute, but this is where you would set it for a customer. And also, if the salesperson themselves create the customer, they automatically set themselves as the sales rep. You don't have to set it. This is only if you are doing the account as the master account holder. Tax rate, your tax rate in the settings, you have a default tax rate, which you can put in. That will always populate here when the customer orders. If it's a school or a government office that doesn't have tax, you set that to 0, and then that'll indicate that it's non-tax. Otherwise, it'll just pull from your default tax rate. If you're in a state like New York, New Jersey, and you have different tax rates for different states you sell in, then you can adjust the rate here for this specific customer. All these other discount rates, we put it in for a couple of customers that wanted this, but not a lot of people use it. This is if you want to give a discount off your already discounted prices. So it's like giving an extra discount on top of your 30% off that you normally give. If you want to give somebody a kind of discount like that, you can put that in here. Not a lot of people use that, but I just want to explain what that's for. It's an extra on top of your already low price. Delivery or shipping, I know everybody, a lot of people have free shipping for everything, but I really highly encourage that you start using a delivery or shipping upsell on the order forms. Basically here you can set a delivery or shipping rate for anybody who buys a certain amount of product. And this is normally the ratio that I see Cartridge World setting is $7 shipping or delivery for any order over $100. I've even seen 75. But basically what this does is it keeps you from delivering a cartridge for free to somebody who only buys a $25 product. And so at the time of their shopping cart, when they're checking out and they only have $25 in their cart, it will say, oh, you get free shipping if you buy up to $75 for the product, and it encourages them to upsell and buy more products so that you can deliver it to them for free. I know a lot of you guys have just free shipping no matter what, but I have seen a lot of people implement this, and it's driven up their sales ticket value because the customer always wants to get that free shipping and they don't want to pay the $7. You can do that. Totally up to you on how you want to use that, but this is where I see a lot of people at, the 7 to 75.
Yeah, we got a question here.
Yes.
Can you make that a universal deal there, or is that going to be account by account?
You can have a universal in the settings. We can put like a universal shipping and free minimum, and you can set that, and every time it'll be for that. And this is just if you wanted to change it per this customer.
What if we already have like 100 accounts in there, but we want to add it?
Yeah, then you would go into the settings and just add that as a default, and then it would apply for everybody going forward. But if you don't have anything in the default settings, it only applies right here as you would have added it. Otherwise, when you do it in the settings, it'll put it for everybody. And that just helps you upsell your ticket. It helps you get a larger ticket so that you're warranted all your free delivery that you do. Approval minimum. I'll just kind of glance over this, but we have a huge approval system. So if you have like a school who has like the teachers maybe order and then has to go to a purchasing department, the purchasing department has to approve it, and then that goes back to the customer and to you that it's all been approved. We have a tremendous system that goes through that, and it's very robust and gets it all done. And so this is an approval minimum. So some of the central purchasers say, you know what, I only want to see if my company's ordering over a certain amount of dollars, and that's the only time I want to approve it. And so we have a system in there to where you can set the approval minimum here, and if you set it to like $300, the purchaser won't be notified until they make a purchase over a certain dollar amount of $300, and then at that point in time, then they'll have to approve that order. It just keeps the locations from ordering too much product. So that's that feature. All this is just kind of how the order forms show, and just yes is normal for all this stuff. Do you want to show prices, printer names, cartridge yields? The notes field is just basically for you. If you want to put a note for this customer, something you picked up while marketing to them, and you wanted to make note of that, like always talk to Sally in the receivable department or whatever, you can put that in there, and then you'll see the notes, but nobody else will see the notes. Ship to is right here. It's already filled out to you from the previous customer location. You can copy that to billing, and that's what I suggest everybody do. Just click the copy to billing. Then basically once you have all that filled out, you just click save, and that's going to save the first customer and take you to where you can create their order form. And so now we're on, and let me know when everybody's there.
Okay, hold on. Questions so far? Everybody in that stage? Yes. No. Hold on.
Sure.
If you've got customers on a price point, every time price, it's just a delivery system. But if you change the price, you've got to go in manually.
Yes. Yes, you can go in there every time you want and then change that over
But you're not changing the price, it automatically comes up and sets
with that set
for that,
price.
for that product.
Yes.
It records it every transaction.
Yes. That's a good question, Kat. And I want to make sure that, because I'm telling him yes.
Yeah, I heard you telling him yes, but I didn't hear the question.
So let's say the customer already has the icon on their, or the quote on their computer.
Uh-huh.
I'll change today a price, and he opens that quote a minute after I change that. Will that get reflected there?
Yeah, so just making sure we're using the right terms. You know, if a customer has an order form created for them, like we're creating right now, and that has the icon on the desktop, and you change a price, as you click on the desktop and it logs them in, everything's real time. And so they instantly see that new price that you changed as soon as they log in.
Okay.
That's only if they have the global settings checked, isn't it?
Well, I mean, the question was, if I change a price on a customer's order form, when they open the icon again, do they see that price automatically, or do they have to update somehow? And so the answer to his question was, you know, yes, they will see the new price instantly. They don't have to do anything. You're talking about globalizing the actual price of the product, which we'll talk about here in just a second, and that is a little bit different thing, and that also changes the price immediately for everybody.
Oh,
okay. So once everybody's here, this is creating the order form, for the first order form for the customer. And so this is, again, another part of EasyOrder that stands out. We have a full database of Brother to Xerox and everything that goes with every printer. It's very robust. We work on it every day. We've been working on it for 12 years. And so it's quite a big, you know, database, but it is pretty tight. And so with that, you can create pretty much anything you want to. Now, most of you are probably used to going out and getting the cartridges that the customer needs to order. And the new method of getting the customer's information is just finding out what printers or copiers they have at their location. You don't really need to get individual cartridge names anymore. You just need to get what machines they're using. And I have a worksheet right here. And this is a downloadable worksheet in the download section of EasyOrder. This is a editable PDF. So you basically just click in here and you type what information you want to type, and you save it and you send it back. So the customer doesn't have to print it or write on it or scan it or anything. They just type in here, and it asks them, what's your name, what's the company email, contact, all this stuff, and then who uses the printer or where is it, what's the make and model of the printer, and then what department is it in. So it could be in the sales department or the accounting department, whatever. And so all you really have to do is send the customer this printer worksheet, or if you're walking around doing traditional sales, you can fill this out while you're in their office, just grabbing a couple of their printers. And then you can come back to EasyOrder and you have all the information you need to set up these order forms. Because with a printer, you may have 8 to 12 things that go with the printer, whereas a cartridge just has a single cartridge. So if you're setting up by cartridge, it takes so much longer than setting it up by printer. And so we have you get the printer information when you go out and market to them. And so once you have that, you come back, and when you're ready to go, you just click on New, and that's going to pull up the database for EasyOrder. Everybody kind of do this with me.
Hey, Kat, hold on. Here you go.
No, I think I've got it covered here, because the visibility, does the customer see his icon set up on his screen, what, when he taps in, what you're doing in the back end and changing the pricing? Is that how it works?
What do you mean?
Set up the customer, he has an icon on his screen, right? So he clicks the order through the icon.
He's going to open the order form as well.
And he does his order based on what he's
Two of these, one of these.
But he's asking for a price now.
Well, at this point, we're talking about creating an existing customer and pulling them in and pulling them into your online ordering system. We will be talking about what to do from a quote standpoint in just a little bit. It's a different method. This is kind of like setting up an established customer who's already doing business with you. And then in a minute, we'll talk about how to take a new customer that you've never even talked to before and then set them up with a quote, and then how to follow that quote up and what they see from that. Sound good?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, so everybody click on new or add, I think it is, and you'll get to this screen. And so from here, you're going to pick what kind of printer that you want to put on the cartridge order form. So if you click on all the search, we have Reman, we have OEM, we have other, which could be considered a compatible product, and we have custom, which could be anything from paper to actual printers to other products that are just not cartridges. So we're going to select Reman because that's anything kind of aftermarket. And then from the manufacturer, notice we keep the manufacturer list tight. It's really only the stuff that's being sold. There's not a lot of weird stuff in there that people don't use. So just go down here and click on HP. That's the manufacturer we're going to go to. And of course, you can select by printer or cartridge, but we're going to go by printer. And then instead of typing in for a lot of stuff, people type in the LaserJet, Pro, MFP. Don't worry about all that stuff. Just type in the model number that the printer is. So let's go 2600. And then we have a Google-based search that kind of like goes to our database and finds based off the model number you're looking for. And then you can choose the one that you want. So let's all pick this color LaserJet 2600. And when you pick that 2600, all the cartridges come up that are related to that product. And so if you see here, we have the black, we have the dual pack black, we have the cyan, yellow, magenta, the fuser unit, the transfer roller. These are all the Xerox branded compatibles for HP that some people sell. And so those are all ready for you to add to the order form. So just everybody pick on the black, and we'll skip the dual pack, and then just click on the cyan, yellow, magenta. And once you've done that, go up to save and just click save. And everybody let me know when they're at this screen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Cool. And so from this screen, we've added the 2600 to the order form, and now you can personalize it. And the personalization is really important because if you personalize it, the person ordering doesn't even have to remember the printer name. So let's say this is Cat's printer, and it's in the sales department. When the person goes to order this, all the person who needs the cartridge have to say is, hey, I need a black one for Cat's printer. And then the person ordering knows to just go to Cat's printer and select the color black and put 1 by it. And then we'll have to remember this long model number that gets in the way that people mistake all the time and give you the wrong model number and you send out the wrong cartridge. It keeps it to where there's almost no human error in this because you've customized it so much and you've given it all to them to where they don't have to remember what they really need. It's all spelled out for them. They don't have to keep a list of these model numbers around anymore. So when somebody orders something, they have to give you this number. You don't have to do that anymore with EasyOrder. It's all spelled out for you. Now, if you can see here, we have the retail price in there. On each item, this is what we considered your price that you're selling the item for. The retail price in the U.S., now let me make that clear. In the U.S., we have a system that goes out and scrapes Staples U.S. website for the most up-to-date retail pricing every week. And so the price that you see in EasyOrder is very, very close to the price that's going to be sold for in your area as the highest MSRP retail OEM price that Staples will show. And that's the same across the line for Office Max and Office Depot and all that stuff. They all have this main price that they say this is the OEM's price. But we're going to sell it to you for this price. But they always have this price. So when you see our retail price, you pretty much know that it's going to be up to date. And we're going to have it weekly updated. So these prices change. As the market fluctuates, our retail prices fluctuate with the market. And so when you see an order form, there are ways that we indicate to you that, hey, this retail price has gone up. And then you can change that or update that for yourself. But that's where these prices come from if you're wondering, where do you get these prices? We get them from Staples, and we get them weekly updated. This price, on the other hand, is going to be your price that you're going to sell the cartridge for. I, as RemanResource, don't care what this price is because I know you're going to probably change it to your price, whatever that is anyway. So when you're looking at yours in your account is probably not blue like this. Y'all's are probably white because they've never been changed before or set. And so when you see the blue and you see the G, that means it's been globalized in the system. And this is what the gentleman was talking about earlier with globalized, that you can set your prices for your catalog while you're creating a customer's account. So if you're new to EasyOrder and you want to kind of sort of price things as you go, if you check this global box and you come and you change the price to something else, let's say you're changing this to $70, and this is $78, and you're going to copy that down the row. And now you want that price to be the price for these cartridges every time you pull them up. Also, maybe if you're changing the price, this could be the price that is now updated on everybody's order form. So if you save this and all these are globalized, you're changing not only this price for these products, but anybody who has this cartridge on their order form in your system, because maybe the price went up and you went up with the prices. Now everybody has a new price for these cartridges. And just like the gentleman asked before, you know, what if I do a price increase? Will the customer see it instantly? When they click on their on their desktop icon and they go back to order, the new price will be instantly reflected in their order forms. A lot of times they don't even notice when you go up in price because they just keep ordering, and you may have gone up $1 or $2, but a lot of times they don't see it because they order so quickly through EasyOrder that a lot of times they're really not looking.
The exception to that, though, is if you have that particular customer's price locked, right?
Yes, the exception to that is if you have a locked order form, it will not update the price when you do the global. The locked order form will always stay locked. There is a way where you can do a price update, and then there's a checkbox to say, you know, go through all unlocked accounts. That's only in kind of an upload sort of scenario. Notice with you have these globalized, these boxes open up, you can put your cost in here so you know what your cost is from your vendor. You can change the yield if you don't agree with our yield. Our yields are pretty spot on, but if you want to change that, you can. And if you want to put your SKU number that you call the system, the cartridge next to it, you could do that as well. Some people use vendor codes. You know, Clover, maybe they buy this from Clover and the Clover number is this. Sometimes they put that there so they know what to order when they get the cartridge, where I'm ordering this product from. And then when we're integrating with the POS system called Erply right now, and a lot of this is going to go away because we're going to have an Erply number, we're going to have the Cartridge World Global Product Master number, and that's going to kind of be the new SKU number. People will stop calling it whatever they call it in their POS, and we'll call it what it is in the Cartridge World CPM, so that everybody knows what's being sold, and it's just much more efficient. So that's those fields right there. I'm not going to globalize this right now just because I don't want to change the price. Everybody, you didn't have to do anything at that point. All you do is click save, and that will save the item to the order form. And now you'll be at this page. And then from here, I'm just going to create another item, and you don't have to do this. And everybody can kind of stop following me at this point because I really want you to see the interaction on this. And there's too many variables right now at this point to have everybody do this and open up their own emails and download stuff and all this. So just kind of watch me at this point. So I'm going to create another item, and just real quick, I'm going to go HP, and I'm going to go 8600. That's an inkjet. And I'll just grab the first 8600 that pops up, and I'll do the chipped versions of the cartridges. And I'll click on save, and then I'll save that to the order form. Just now we have a decent order form with 2 items on it. From here, you can drag and drop these things around if you want to change the order. And then if you want to edit any item, say you change the price or want to go back in and change the price for a customer once you've had this set up for a while, you can edit that or delete the item if you want to. For those of you that are doing the Why Buy a Printer program, we do have a feature that really helps you with that. It's the lease tracker, and it's right here. And basically what you want to do is go, okay, for Cat's printer, and I'm going to edit this because for the lease tracker, you're probably going to want the serial number of the printer. So let's say that's the serial number. You put that in the name and save it. So now you know which printer it is, and then basically you can go to the lease tracker and say, okay, I want that's a month. I want 2 years from now on today, I want this lease to run out. And so when you set the lease tracker, basically you have a setting in the back end that you can say, okay, I want to know 60 days out before my lease is up on this printer when it's out, so I can get them to renew the lease so that they buy the lease again, and then they just have to buy the toner cartridges from me, and it helps you keep track of this. It's really hard to take a spreadsheet and remember over 2 years that you need to be constantly checking that for leases that are running out, and so let the system do it for you. It'll send you a notification when that printer is out, and then you'll be able to do the Why Buy a Printer program and renew that again. So this will help you with that.
You get a message before it expires or right when it expires?
No, you can set the days. So we usually set it to 60 days before, but you can set it to as many days as you want to. So if you want that to be 30 or 90 or whatever else, you know, you can set that in your system and it'll remind you whenever you want it to be.
Another question. I may be jumping ahead, but you know how some cartridges are now universal, where they can put more than one printer.
Mm-hmm.
How you do that in there?
Well, it just depends. Sometimes we have these universal cartridges in our system. If it's been known to take, if it goes between brands, you may have to set it up as a custom product. But if you noticed, we had the Xerox product in the HP category earlier. So if it's a custom kind of compatible that goes with different printers, we either have it in there or you can add it in as a custom product. Okay. Either way. Okay, so again, don't follow along with this, but because I'm just follow me. This is really important that you grasp how we do this. So this is done for the customer. Again, this is established customer that you want to do business with. We're talking, this is somebody who already buys from you, but now you're putting them on the online system. When you're ready to go, all you do is click mail, and that's going to send the welcome email to the customer. So it just sent to me, and then I'm pulling it over here, and it says, "Greetings, Kat with Kat's Co. Welcome to EasyOrder. We've created this online order form tailored specifically to your needs." And it says, "Click here to download your personal desktop icon." This is what we want them to click on, just because it takes them to the icon. They can download it, and it's really easy to do. It's the first thing we ask them to do. There is a video that says, "Check out this quick video of how to download your desktop icon and order from us," and they click on this. And if they click on this link, it shows them right from this email how to click on the download desktop icon link, what to do, how to save it, how to install it, and how to use it once they're done. And so you don't have to do any of the heavy lifting on explaining how to do this. Just tell them, here's the welcome email, watch the video that says how to easily order from us, and then follow the instructions to download the icon. Now, one thing I want to show you guys as administrators of EasyOrder, and the customer really doesn't have to know about this, but it's there in case they need it. This is where I was talking about the customer really never needs to see their username and password, but we give it to them because we always want them to be able to get in at 100%, no matter what their environment is, no matter what their IT department has their internet security set at. We want them to be able to log in no matter what. So if the customer clicks on this link here, and then they put in their username and password, just like you guys did to log in, they will be taken to their order form directly. So if an IT person says, well, I'm not going to install any software on my computers, be like, fine, just use the link. And we also have even another way where they don't have to do this. But there's been times where the customer has to use this. I just want you guys to know we give them this information at the bottom of the welcome email. But what we really want them to do is to click on this link right here. So when they click on it, it says download your desktop icon. And this is the customer now. So it takes them right to this page. So it tells them to save the installer, click yes or run or whatever your computer asks you to do, and then follow the instructions, and you'll be good to go. And we just need them to click on this icon. Notice we also have this one that says don't want to or can't install software on your computer. Although this file is very trusted and intrusive, this is just going to install a bookmark to your computer's desktop and doesn't install any software whatsoever. And so I'm going to save that to my desktop just to show you what that looks like, and I'll also download the desktop icon, the traditional one, to show you what that looks like. So those are downloading right now, and so what I'll do is go to my computer's desktop. I can close this out now because it's gone. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete this out. That was from an old training. Now we have this icon, and we have this icon, the cartridge roll demo icon, and then the order form installer icon. This is the one that was just like the bookmark. And so again, if I have this on my desktop and I don't want to install any software, you just click run and it opens up the order form. So no opening a web browser, no using a username or a password. You can see we're logged in right here as the customer. And here's the order form that we just created. So the customer, in just one click from their desktop, can automatically get right back to their system in just a few seconds. They don't have to remember any of that stuff to get in. So that's a huge selling point because you've just made getting connected to you easier than anything else. They don't have to remember your business card. They don't have to remember where that is, where your quote is. They just link themselves to you with this desktop icon, and they can order in just 3 clicks. Now, that's the unbranded cartridge roll regular bookmark, okay? It works the same way as this icon does, but this icon actually installs a graphic that makes it have the cartridge roll brand on it. It's the only thing it does other than this. And so I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to click on order form installer. It's going to pop up something that says, do you want to run this? And then I'm going to click run. And then it says, do you want to install it? And I say yes. And I click install. I close that out. And if you notice, when it finishes, right when I finish installing it, it actually logs me in and takes me to my order form. And so the customer is ready to order. They don't have to do anything at that point. But what's happened here is I can kill this installer file. Now we have a branded icon on their desktop that's branded to Cartridge World. Now, why is this icon more important than this icon? It's because you're reinforcing the Cartridge World brand. And if you look at this desktop, I mean, that desktop icon, the yellow Cartridge World icon, stands out over all the other icons, on my desktop. And when your customer is sitting there at their desktop and they're using their computer at their office, 5 days a week, maybe 8 hours a day, they're seeing this icon in their peripheral vision maybe 300 or 400 times in a week. And so you're reinforcing your brand to your customer in a way that you never could. I mean, there's no amount of marketing dollars that you could pay to really get this on your customer's desktop. And now with EasyOrder, they're putting it on there for free. And so you're really reinforcing your brand. And so when the customer comes up and says, or somebody comes up to your person who's ordering and says, hey, I need a cartridge. They're like, oh, this has been on my desktop all week. I'm just going to click on it. And it's going to take me right to my order form. And there we go. Okay, what do I need? So, yes.
Yes, a good question.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't want that link, that a non-branded one, to show in that email, can we do that?
The non-branded one, I was just showing it to you as an administrator, but basically they actually have to actually click this part of it to get that to download. Most of the time, since this is so big, 99% of the time they're going to do this. And
they won't read the rest.
Yeah, and they won't read this really. But if you get a customer who's like having trouble downloading it or installing it, because some people will have really high virus scanners or stuff like that, and their computer may be too locked up to run it. And so if they do, we have this as a backup to people who can install the icon, because it's basically just like a bookmark, and all your login information is coded into the bookmark, so it works just like the other one. I was only showing you that as a reference that you didn't have to have an installed program, but 99.9% of the time you want to have this one going.
Okay, I got a question here.
Yep.
Are we giving the customer the option to support themselves, or should we install it for them? That way we can put our icon to drive from the service.
I think I would say for practice, what we've done is we go in and we'll set it up.
Yeah.
And we'll email, but then we'll walk over to them within the next day and give them a copy. We will print what their order was and ask them if they loaded it. If they haven't, then we'll say, here, let us do it for you.
To the actual icon?
To the customer icon, and we click it, and there it's on their computer.
So they'll send the email, then the next day they'll go with the order form.
Right.
Kind of saying, hey, do you get the email? Do you download the icon? If they didn't do it, then he'll go in manually.
We talked to Kat because we were not getting good response from the originally. And when we went back, because I saw it, just didn't have time to do it. So we just elected to make it a policy that we send it to them, and we go the next day with it. Because we know where they got it.
Well, it's a good time to. I know that, I know that like Greg and them up the Northwest have a couple sales guys use that as their closing tool.
Yeah.
Right before they walk in again and go in and say, listen, I said, I've got that down there. I said, let's get it going real quick. They'll walk in, is there anything you need right now? I'll show you how to use it.
Exactly.
First order right out of them right then and get that first one going, show them how easy it is with all your pricing in there. Let's just say, what's her name out here? I said, then I didn't see her having a backup. I said, let's get her backup.
Hey, Kat, can you send that link without having to have an order form loaded or not?
No, but there's a way for you to create your own EasyOrder account as a customer. You can send the customer, and I'll get to this in a second, but from your landing pages, my CW quote, my CW login, the customer can click on these, and then they can actually fill out their own EasyOrder account from that link. So you could send the link to this button, and then they could create their own EasyOrder account. That's not the kind of purpose of EasyOrder, but it can be done. So what Bill was saying was right. I mean, you do have to follow up with the customer. The biggest problem we see with users is that they'll send the welcome email out and just hope the customer figures it out. And that's not really the most progressive way to do this. The most progressive way, and Bill goes the extra step and actually goes there, but that's not necessary. Having the sales guys come back and show them this as a closing tool. I mean, it just really shows the salespeople know what they're doing. They have a system. It looks very impressive. And if you don't want to do any of that, and you just have, maybe you're a single owner and you're trying to market as much as you can in your own store, you can still call the customer and say, hey, look, I've created your online order form for you. When do you have a second to talk to me about it, and just to have me go over how it works with you? And then they tell you a time to call them, and then you send the welcome email to them right before you're going to call them, and then you walk them through downloading and all that kind of stuff, and you show them how to order from you. So whether it's a phone call or a in-person follow-up or sales rep follow-up, you do need to follow up, because the customer may not understand what to do, but as soon as they either watch the video or they download it and they do it once, like a little light bulb comes off and they're like, oh, this is super easy. And this is what I was about to show you. So once you get this on the customer's desktop, you really want to show them, this is how you order from me from now on. And let me show you how easy it is. And you can even send a test order through, and it's not a big deal. But look how quickly this is compared to anything else online. Tell me if you've ever seen anything this fast. The customer clicks on the icon. They find the products that they want to use. They basically put quantities next to the cartridges. I want a black and a black for that. I click on review order, look at it, make sure everything's okay. I can set an order urgency, and I just submit the order. And so all that took was literally 3 clicks for the customer to place the order. So having this icon on their desktop, one, connects you to the customer in a way you've never been connected to a customer before. You're instantly directly connected to them from their desktop. They don't have to remember any of your contact information. They can order in just 3 clicks, and they're on about their day. And for most people who order cartridges, ordering cartridges is not the #1 priority for them as an employee. And so if you can make this process easy and simple and hassle-free for the customer, convenience wins in the market. And so if you can be more convenient than Office Depot and Office Max and all the other hundreds of e-commerce websites that are out there trying to take your business, you're going to win. The customer will reward you with their loyalty because of the convenience of how you've set up an ordering system for them. We've seen it time and time again. Again, we've been doing this for 12 years, and the process has never changed about how to make it about the customer, how to make it easy for the customer. And so if you can implement this in your day-to-day practice, and you do this with every customer, first of all, you have a streamlined process for how you deal with customers and how you deal with sales. And then 2, your customers love it because it's just super convenient and super easy. A lot of people won't move from the system just because they like how it is, they like how it's ordered, how it's so easy. And that's the fundamental part of EasyOrder, is the convenience. And if you can get this icon on the customer's desktop, you've done everything you can as a salesperson to have them be able to order from you. They're linked to you, they're ready to go. So when they need to order, all they do is click on their icon and they're ready to order. And so that's the big catch of EasyOrder, is getting this process together for every single customer and getting them on the system. You can take your established customers and do what we just did and set them up and send them the icon, tell them, hey, this is how we order now. This is just how we place an order. You will find that you will have some customers that just won't break their habits of calling you and doing emails and stuff like that. And so what I suggest in that case is for each customer who calls up and starts an order, and if they don't have an EasyOrder account, write down what they're ordering and then go back and create an EasyOrder account for them, and then place their order for them through their EasyOrder account. And so they get a professional confirmation of what they just called in, and then you can call them back and say, hey, did you get that confirmation of your order? Yes, well, I just want you to know you now have an online ordering account with us. I'm going to send you a welcome email. It's going to have a video. You just watch the video on how to download this icon. The next time you want to order, you can download the icon, or you can call me again, and I'll put the order through your online ordering system. So you can still use it for customers who don't adopt to it, but once they see it a few times and you do it for them a few times, and you keep reminding them that it's there for them if they need it, and you'll explain it to them, they'll eventually cross over and they'll start using the online ordering system. And then that's one customer that's not calling you, it's not taking up your employees' time, giving them model numbers that may or may not be correct, and it just streamlines your entire process. So any questions on the icon or creating a basic order form or anything we've gone over so far? Nope. All right. So now we're going to talk about, now that's established business. That is people who order from you and that you want to set them up with online ordering. You know, for the new people, I would say take your best customers and try this out with them. Do it to people who know you and are going to order from you no matter what. And try it out with them, get their feedback. And once they tell you how much they love it, then you'll start to put other people on it, and it'll just kind of go like that. You don't have to put everybody on it once. You can import customers in mass if you want to be really progressive about it. You can take your POS, export your customers, import them all into EasyOrder, and then build order forms as you can. And there's many ways to get customers in, but I don't want to overload with information right now.
Yeah, if you load off your POS and you put them in there, will it also pick up what they bought, and then will it populate?
Unfortunately, no. We can only take on the contact customer information from the POS and create accounts for them. But as far as, you know, what we're doing is we're setting up the printers and not the cartridges. And so we don't even have a way to pull in the cartridge information of what they previously bought. But you can use that previously bought information to create order forms for them. You know, but we can't do it all at once just because the POSs aren't talking that much. So the next part of the equation is, okay, that's how we do established customers. How do we deal with new customers, and what kind of sales techniques do you have to make sure that my sales guys have everything they need to do to get the order closed? And our quote system is very robust, and it really has features in it that makes it different than any other quoting system out there. I know for me, quoting was the worst part of my day. I would get back from a long day of working and maybe prospecting and that's things, and I would come back and I would have to do quotes, and you have to do quotes fast. If any of you are sitting on a quote that you get for more than a day, you're losing that business, or you're really risking losing that business, because the customer needs to be responded to immediately. And so the faster you respond to the quote, the more professional you look, and the more they're likely they are to do business with you. And so I've talked to a few people, and they were like, well, you know, I was responding after day 4, and I wasn't getting much response. It's like, well, they've forgotten about you by day 4. You need to either respond the day or the day, very much the morning after, if you're doing a quote. And so our system allows you to do that. And before, I was doing it with like a spreadsheet, and I would look up stuff on Staples and paste it into a spreadsheet, and it was really kind of wonky, and EasyOrder just gets rid of all that. So basically, when you want to go here, you're going to manage quotes, and you can follow me if you want to. You don't have to. This is the same kind of setup as creating an order form, so you saw it before, you did it before. If you have quotes in here, you'll see all the quotes you've been doing. If you don't have any quotes in your system, that just means you haven't done any quotes. Basically, you just click on New, and this is very familiar, right? Looks like setting up a customer, except the only 2 things you have to really mandatory fill out is a company name and a contact name, and I say an email address, because you really need to email this quote to the customer as well. So I'm going to say this is Johnson CPA, because you always want to target customers, and I can do a whole nother webinar on targeting customers and using LinkedIn to target the right customers and going after only the customers who you really want rather than the customers who you can get. But that's a whole nother webinar series. So let's say you're going after a CPA, Johnson CPA company, and the contact is Joe Johnson. And then I'm going to put, again, my email address in. So you want to put the email address in there, again, because it adds a whole new level of functionality. You don't have to fill in any of this other info. At the time, if a customer wants to buy from the quote, if they get to that point and they want to buy, they will have to fill out their billing or shipping, but you don't have to do any of that. I'm going to click on Add Item. And again, this is just like before, Reman HP printers. And I'm going to go same 2600, color laserjet 2600. We'll again put in the same cartridges. I'll click Save. And so that has created the items for this quote. You can do the same thing. You can change the price. You can do all that kind of good stuff. And when you just click Save, that adds the item to the quote here at the bottom. Okay, so you can put notes in here if you want to put notes about how the sales call went. You know, they had a couple of these machines, but I didn't get them. All I could get with this color laserjet 2600. Make sure you ask for all their printers next time. You know, whatever you want to put in there, you can put. And again, it has all this different features. Now, there's 2 versions of the quote. There's a simple version of the quote, and there's an advanced quote. And you can either use no for simple or yes for advanced. And if you see the advanced gives you an annual orders, so you can extrapolate. If you order this from me, 4 times a year, you're going to save this much more money. So it extrapolates that savings and shows them how much they could save over the year. If you're using the simple quote, it doesn't have that feature. The simple quote looks like this. I'm going to preview it just to show you. It just says it's very easy to print, and that's why people will use the simple quote. There's not a lot of graphics on it. It just says date, the customer name, cartridge world, your contact information, all the printer information's here, the printer is here, the retail price, your price, and you'd save $121.96 if you order today. So that's the simple quote. The advanced quote, which is what most people use, especially if you email it, because you don't have to print it out, is much more substantial. So if you click on preview for that, it has your header on here, so you can advertise your Why Buy a Printer program. It has some information, more information about your company. Here's the date, and the customer's information has kind of a guarantee kind of talk about your cartridges. And then again, the printer name, the product, the retail price, your price, savings, and then if you order the products today, you'll save this. And then based off 4 orders per year, annual savings will be this. So the annual savings, can lock them in, show them a much higher value of what they're going to be saving from ordering from this for you. But that's not the cool part of the quote, is to be able to put this together quickly and have all this information show up really in a professional manner. That's a cool part of the quote. That's not the best part of the quote. The best part of the quote is down here. It says, don't forget, you can place an order right from this quote. Click Show Order Form, which Bill helped me with that, to create your online order form. And so basically what happens is, as a salesperson, if you were normally to send a quote out to somebody, your basic response to them is, did you get my quote? And then they say yes. And then you go, okay, well, call me if you need anything. And that's like really a not powerful way to end a sales call. Well, just call me if you need something from me. That's very open-ended, and you don't know, there's no committal to whether they may buy or not, or may become a customer or not. It's just call me the next time you need something. And then they have to keep this around, and they have to remember your number, and they have to remember how to contact you. And it may get thrown away, or it may get buried in their inbox or something, and they never see this quote again. And so as a salesperson, what you want to do is go, okay, here's the quote, here's all my stuff. Do you need to order anything right now? And if they go no, you go, okay, let me show you how to order from me. That's the big line. Let me show you how to order from me. You're not doing anything aggressive. You're not making them buy anything. You're just saying, when you're ready to order from me, let me show you how. And every customer will do that. And you just say, okay, click on the Show Order Form. And when they click on Show Order Form from their email, when they open it up, it basically turns this quote into a working order form, just like we saw if we were clicking the icon. So it takes that quote and it turns it basically instantly into this. And so right now they were looking at a quote before, but now they're looking at an order form that says their company name, has all this information, and they can actually place an order directly from this quote. And so you've taken them from being a customer who has a quote to a customer that has a working order form. And that is much more powerful than leaving them with a quote with a sheet of paper that says, call me if you need anything. Because as soon as they click that button, show the order form, it sends them that welcome email. The welcome email has the icon on the desktop. They can download that icon and get back to their quote whenever they need it. And so once they're looking at this, they're probably like, what is this? And you're like, well, you're looking at your order form. You can actually place an order, directly from this quote that I just sent you. And so as you clicked on that, you got a welcome email. That welcome email had a link to download a desktop icon. And if you download that, you can get back to this quote whenever you want to. And so whenever you need anything, whenever you need to order from me, just click on your icon, put quantities next to this, and place the order. And that, my friends, is a much more powerful stance to be in as a salesperson. You've done everything you possibly can to take that customer from a prospective customer and turn it into a customer that is with you and ordering from you for as long as they can. And that's because you've taken them through the process. And if you do this and follow this path for every single quote and try to get every single customer to click on that and show them how to order from you, you're going to have a much higher success rate with quotes. You're going to have a much higher success rate with closing quotes and getting people to order from you. Then you have all the tools of, has this customer not ordered in a number of days? So if the customer does get this order form but doesn't order, you can follow them up and say, hey, remember when we got that quote and you turn it into an order form, just saying it's still there if you need it. Do you need any reminders on how to get back to that? I can show you how to download the icon again. And so when you're calling the customer back to follow up, you're not badgering them for a sale. You're saying, hey, I noticed that you haven't used your order form. Do you have any questions? Can I show you how to use it again? And it's a soft contact back. You're not hitting them over the head going, hey, remember that quote I sent you? You need anything yet? And it's not like that. It's a very soft going back to them and encouraging them to order. And so as a sales rep, to have the tool available to you to basically, take this quote and have them click on a link and have them turn that flat PDF quote into a working HTML order form is super powerful. And this really changes the game for any salesperson who is using EasyOrder. We used to tell people as sales reps using EasyOrder, instead of doing a quote, just create an order form for them and then send them. Yeah.
Hold on, we've got a question here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Harry from Global Corporate.
Yes, sir.
Really enjoying the presentation.
Thank you.
Can you take this globally, or is it more US centric?
It's absolutely, it's absolutely global. Some of our largest customers are in Australia right now, and we have 3 cartridge worlds in Australia. It's Australia and New Zealand. So let me make that distinction. We have probably 2 in New Zealand and 1 in Australia for cartridge worlds. But it's absolutely, there's a different database for Australia, and there's different pricing setups. And like I said, have you ever heard of quality printer cartridges in Australia? They're in Perth, but they're one of the largest wholesalers in that area, and they've been using EasyOrder for over 10 years in Australia. So it's absolutely scaled right now to hit the ground running in Australia and work for everybody that's out there in the very same way it works for people in the US. Now, other markets like China and different things like that, just because of the language, we do have a way to translate our language files into different languages. For example, we have it in Spanish, we have it in French, we have it in Dutch, but we don't have it in any other languages other than that. But we can change the languages if we get somebody to do that.
But only the order form will be seen in a different language, right?
Yeah, it can be both. It can be the order form or it can be the back end. Because when I translate it into Spanish, I translate it all in the back end as well. So it's both.
But, do you know the 3 stores in Australia?
Who are the 3 stores in Australia?
Let me log out real quick and show you.
Sorry.
Pause.
Because we've got the Australian New Zealand regional manager here, and I wonder.
Great. Hold on, let me. Stable. Oh, I'm trying to log out here. Okay, so we have Les Preston in Adderley. Alderley. We have Bill Swan in New Zealand. We have, I did create an account for James Douglas as a demo account just to play with, for training. And so Cartridge World Australia Corporate has an account that you guys can play with and do whatever with, So I'll give you that those credentials. I'll send them to you. I'll send them to Renzo, and he can pass them on to you if you'd like.
Actually, Phil Musto is here next week, so maybe talk to. Actually, if I talk to him next week.
You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. What's his name?
Kat.
Oh, Kat. Phil Musto from Australia. How are you?
Hey, good to meet you.
Just want to give you some feedback. I don't know if it's directly related, but Les from the Alderley store. It's not a particularly big store, and it's quite probably is a very high residential business.
Sure.
And over the last year, I've seen enormous growth in that store.
Really?
I just thought that would be a bit of feedback. So you see, I don't know when you actually implemented your program in your store, but that could be quite, he's an older guy and he's quite proactive.
Yeah.
Maybe some type of direct correlation between when you supply that to him. So
it definitely, you know, if you don't have a tool to do things like this and you really get behind it, and I know he's been a user for quite a while, he may have just ramped up with it, but it definitely helps you secure, you know, that business.
Hey, Kat, Phil is going to be here next week as well. So maybe we set up a call.
Sure. Yeah. I can do a...
He missed the first half of the meeting. He had something else to do.
Yeah, no worries. I can do like a separate meeting. It's not a big deal.
So we can look into opportunities because he's the regional manager for Australia.
Absolutely, for sure. And I've been wanting to, you know, get it out and into that region for quite a while. So
yeah, he'll be the guy talking.
Awesome.
All right, you can keep going into what you were doing.
So, you know, does everybody understand the quoting process and how if you use the quoting process and really be proactive and show them how to order from you, how that really changes the game for people who quote? It leaves you in a position of power. And so if you can implement this in your own store, or at least start to implement it, it really makes a big change in how the customers really interact with EasyOrder. And really...
Hey, Kat, hold on. We got 3 groups talking
to
each other. Hold on. Pretty sure they're talking about your presentation.
Yeah, no worries.
Either that or they're looking at a train schedule or something.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So really that's the long and short of EasyOrder. I could go into different features or different sales tools we have or anything else, but I don't want to overwhelm, you know, anybody with too much information. The basics is setting up your customers with online ordering. And again, in 2018, if you don't have a way to order online, you're going to be left with all the Toys R Us's and the Blockbusters who, you know, couldn't change with the times, you know, and so you have to be having online ordering for your customers. And this gives them that. It gives it to them with a private ordering system. You don't have to share your prices with anybody else, just between you and your customers. It's really relationship building. It's not come to my website and order from me. It's relationship building with your customer. And so that, and then the quoting system to go get new business and get it in a way where you're being aggressive with your sales approach, but you're not hitting them over the head and being like a used car salesman. EasyOrder gives you those tools. And really, once you get those 2 down, setting up customers and getting new customers with the quoting system, it's just really rinse and repeat. It's doing the same thing over and over. So once you get familiar with how to deal with this with your customer, it's easier the next time, and it's easier the next time. And then it just becomes part of the way you run your business. And if you can train your salespeople or your employees how to use it, it gets even better, because when a customer calls, they can create an order form for the customer. They can show them how to order from it. And eventually you get everybody kind of in this business pipeline of ordering through EasyOrder, and your phone call volume all of a sudden drops. You have more time to go market, and you're spending less time putting out fires and dealing with just kind of the busy work of running a cartridge business. And yes.
Sorry, it's Phil again. I'm just interested, this may not be completely relevant because I've missed part of it, but just looking at that screen there, we've got loads of different options for the I know some of those will probably double up onto a point of sale system that we actually have. If some of those, not to confuse the franchisees, if there was some things there that obviously we need the point of sale to do and not be available in this particular program, just for that double up and confusion, are you able to customize it so if there is a couple of options we needed to drop out, you could?
We're a smaller design company, and so we can absolutely, you know, listen to what you need and take action on it if necessary. So yeah, I mean, let's just talk about what you need, and then we can get that done. We've done a lot of customization for Cartridge World. We've actually come out with a national business program to create a way for them to take a national account that's across all the U.S. and then use the different Cartridge World franchisees to service that based off sales reps. And so we do a lot of customization for Cartridge World. So if there's stuff you guys need, we can definitely take a look at it and see what we can do for you.
Yeah, it's excellent, because we've got a challenge at the moment where we've got a lot of separate programs doubling up on the same information. So from a corporate level, it's hard to actually monitor that information because it's stored in different programs of the same information.
Sure.
Back to a benchmark, so then we can put KPIs around it. So there may be a couple of things here that may double up, or we might turn around and say, these are far better in this particular program, we'll turn them off on that point of sale. So
Sure. Yeah. We can take a look at that on a case by case, basis and see what you want to do, with that. We're integrating with the ERPLI system, which is going to be the new POS for the US. And so with that, we're merging those two systems sort of so that it doesn't become two systems. It's one system that talks to each other. And so the things, like you change the price in ERPLI will eventually change the price in EasyOrder. You get order from EasyOrder, it automatically transcribes into the point of sale. And you just deal with it like from the point of sale. You don't have to transcribe it from an email. So there's all sorts of things we can do, and so we can just take a look at that on a case by case and take advantage of that.
I look forward to catching up with you on that one.
Absolutely. So really, that's it. That's kind of customers, quotes, and then there's a lot more. But I don't want to again overwhelm anybody talking about the little details of what else it can do, but there's so much more. It's a marketing program. It helps you, market to customers, has all kinds of different tools in the marketing areas, so you can look at order frequency, see when your customers are ordering, see when they're not ordering. You can look at a customer who's never ordered, haven't ordered in the last 30, 60, 90 days. There's a bunch of reports that you can run that show your customer activity compared to last year, and percentage up or down. I mean, there's so much stuff in here. But again, I don't want to overwhelm anybody with too much information. So really just the nuts and bolts of having the icon connected to the customer, setting up all your customers, and then going after new ones with the quote system. That's really the nuts and bolts of EasyOrder. And that's kind of what I want you guys to have a good takeaway is this absolutely, 12 years into the business, I've seen it totally grow companies from being small, stagnant companies to having locations, customers that have locations all over the U.S. and they're doing, tremendous business. So,
Hey, Pat, hold on.
Kat, I just want to let everybody know too that if they want to on their own go forward, you have a bunch of YouTube. You have what, like 10 or 12?
Yeah.
Instructions out there that people can go to.
On our YouTube channel, and we're going to start these again, Bill. I also do a weekly webinar, or I've been doing a weekly webinar, and basically we just get together weekly and we talk about questions. Bill was a frequent in our weekly webinar. We just talk about what's going on. I have a ton of customer testimonials from Cartridge Worlds on there. And then here's our weekly webinars, and here's some different trainings and things like that. Another resource I'd like you guys to see is it's a website called CartridgeWorldEasyOrder.com. CartridgeWorldEasyOrder.com. We set this website up to be a sales tool for Cartridge World stores and franchisees to understand more about EasyOrder. So we talk about it here. We have all the testimonials from store owners, case studies, more testimonials here from some of the bigger players in Cartridge World. Here's the entire training video that goes over basically what I just went through with you guys. And then we have some sales statistics. This was for 2017, but there were 21,000 orders placed through EasyOrder in 2017 for just Cartridge World. Sales were up from 2016 to 2017 by $700,000 in increased sales from the year. Total EasyOrder revenue since 2010 was $42 million running through the system, and the average order is $293.75. That's the average order for everybody in EasyOrder. So those are some great numbers just to show you how over time people adopting EasyOrder more. And I will say we were working with Cartridge World more in 2018 and 2017 than we had ever had in the past. We kind of came up on the back end of the franchisees showing us that, hey, we love this product, it's great, telling their other franchisees. And we've just sort of now just started really working with corporate, and the numbers are being adopted more, and everything's going up. So really good traction with the numbers. In the US, you guys have Cartridge World as a whole. We normally charge $99 a month for EasyOrder for a non-Cartridge World. And then we have a sliding scale that makes it go anywhere from $99 to $250, depending on how much you're using the product and how much sales are going through the product. That that is not the case for Cartridge World. Even if we were to sell in Australia, you have a 30% discount to $70 a month for using EasyOrder for all your customers. You can put all your customers on it. There's no limit to how many you put on. $70 a month, 30% off our normal price, no sliding scale. And then this $35 a month, Cartridge World North America believes in this product so much that they actually pay for half the franchisee's EasyOrder account to the marketing fund. And so the Cartridge World franchisee only has to pay $35 a month. And for $35 a month, I mean, to get all of this for that price, I mean, even $70 a month is your first sale of a toner cartridge. And then everything after that is, you know, return on your investment. And so for $70 a month for Australia, $35 a month, it's really the same, $70 a month for each. But the Cartridge World franchisee here only has to pay $35 a month. And so we really think it's kind of a no-brainer for each franchisee to have this tool at their disposal, because there's no other thing that they can spend their marketing dollars on that's going to give them this much return on their investment.
Okay. Hey, Kat, two questions. You mentioned something about adding the freight on the default settings.
Yeah, I can show you that. The settings have a lot of different things that you can go through just to kind of set up your system. So under store settings and preferences, you go and you could have multiple stores that you own. So I'm going to pick the one store. And then under the general tab, there's tons of stuff that you can do here. So for example, here's the tax rate that you can set. You can set your time zone. You can set your format. So in Australia, you can have it the way you need it. Shipping and delivery minimums are here. Is shipping a taxable item? You can turn that on. Customers can request local pickup. You can turn that on. We even have a way for the customer to alert you that there's something's wrong with their printer. There's a little wrench icon if you have this turned on where customers can request the servicing of their printers. If you click yes, it has a little wrench next to the computer. You click on that. I'm sorry, next to the printer. You click on that, it says what's wrong with the printer. They can send that through. If you have a printer rep that you use to repair your printers, you can have the email go directly to your service person, or you can just get it at the store. Here's the lease reminder. I want to know 90 days out before I put that in. And these are the three POS systems that Cartridge World uses, and this is how we link to them through selecting the POS and then putting the store ID, login, and password. And then that connects EasyOrder to the point of sale. And so that's all the kind of basic stuff. You can also do, at the end of a quote, if you have these turned on, if you offer these different services, buying or leasing new printers or copiers, MSP, office supplies, repairs, all this, if you offer these services, you can turn these on. And then at the end of a quote, when a customer goes through the quote process, it'll ask them, hey, we do all this other stuff. Are you interested in any of this? And then they can choose those things, and then they'll let you know that you're, they can give you that kind of stuff, info on that. One thing that I didn't touch on that I want to show you guys, especially the corporate guys, is we can link from, this is the Cartridge World, USA page, and we have these two buttons, My CW Quote, My CW Login, and we can link this from any website. You just basically make two buttons, and we give you the links. And basically what happens is the customer can go here, and this is the Request a Quote page. And so this is for customers who will not talk to you, will not give you any time of day. They basically just want to come to your website and check you out. They can actually go here and create a quote on their own without talking to anybody, and they get that same quote back that they can turn into an order form. And so from here, we just have them fill out basic information: contact name, company name, email address, phone number. If they click Get Started, at that point where they fill out that information, it actually lead captures that information and puts it into the quote system for you as a franchisee. And so even if the customer doesn't finish filling out their quote, them putting their customer information in and clicking Get Started captures that lead and puts it in your quote system. So if you see a quote come in and you didn't do that quote and it's a brand new quote from online, you can look and see, okay, did they add printers to it? If they didn't, you can contact them, and it's a warm contact. You're not calling them and cold calling them. You're saying, oh, I see you started a quote with us on our website. Can I help you finish it? Can you just give me your printers and I'll finish the quote for you? And so this is a great lead capture system for people who are just kind of maybe interested, but they don't want to do anything. We make this really simple to fill out, and unintrusive looking because we want to capture that lead. And so once they click get started, it captures that lead and it puts it in your quote system. If they continue to fill this out, the next thing will say, what are your printers? And they can pick through our database and find their printer, and then they can get a quote. If you've priced the items in your system before, the prices will show on the items. And if you haven't priced them, it will notify you that somebody's trying to get a quote on an item you've never priced, and you can go in and price the item and send the quote back, and then they can have a formal quote. And then if they click on that show order form link, they'll have an order form. And so this is, the customer can go completely from getting a quote to ordering from you to placing an order in one closed loop and never even talk to a cartridge world owner. And I've seen this happen, many times before. When we were just testing this out in the New Jersey, New York area, we asked if anybody had this happen, and one of the owners was talking to Greg Carafello, and he was like, I didn't know about this quote thing, and as they were talking in their store, he got an order for 22 cartridges from a customer he never spoke to, who came on, got a quote, and then ordered his order of 22 cartridges. So it's a way, this is not the way. We don't want you to say, go to my website and get a quote. We want you to quote them. But for the customers who do go to your website and you have this functionality on your website, this is way better than a form you submit and then you get an email of a form, and then you have to respond to the customer that way. This is a fully working quote system that the customer can interact with on their own. The other one, the MyCW login, takes them to this page. And so there's a demo video. I didn't talk about the demo video, but cartridgeworlddemo.com has a fully voiced over professional demo video branded to Cartridge World that shows what EasyOrder is all about. And so basically you just go to Cartridge World Demo, and it's going to have this page. Oh, it took it away. cartridgeworlddemo.com. Let's try that on a different browser. So this is the Cartridge World demo. It's fully branded to Cartridge World, and basically just takes the customer and says, we know your time's valuable, and all that kind of stuff, but this is what we give you. Here's the desktop icon. Here's what you do with it. Here's how you can order from us. This is the order form, and it shows them step by step, what EasyOrder is and what it'll do for you. So from this page, there's the demo video. They click on that. They see the video, and the customer either can, if they don't have an account, they can register for an account, and so they're basically creating their own EasyOrder order form without talking to you. So they register, they fill out all the information, they bill it to, ship to, all that, and then they can fill out their printers, and then they can place an order, and they can do the whole thing and not talk to a Cartridge World owner or store representative. Or if a customer wants to return and log in, and they already have their username and password, they can log in from here. So just wanted to touch on these two functionalities because these are on the Cartridge World USA, landing pages for each individual store, and then these icons go to the quote page and the order page for each individual store. So just wanted to touch on that too, because that's a great feature that we have that you should definitely know about. But that's all I have, unless you guys have any more questions. I know we can do a further training session with the guys next week. But as far as this training goes, anybody who's in the training right now that has further questions, there's a couple ways that you can reach out to us. One, if you don't have an EasyOrder account, you definitely need to get one. It should be mandatory as part of the training. If you're a Cartridge World US user and you do not have an EasyOrder account, you need to get one. Just sign up at our RemanResource.com. You can also do it from here, from this page. You just click on sign up for a free, 30-day demo account. And I'll send Renzo that link so he has it, and you just sign up here. You do have to put your billing information in here for a free trial account, but we don't charge anything until 30 days are up, so you have 30 days to call and cancel. Also, just so you guys know, this is month-to-month, cancel anytime. We don't give you contracts. There's no, if you're not happy with EasyOrder and you're not using EasyOrder, you can cancel anytime, but that very, very rarely happens.
We got a question, Kat.
Hey, Kenny, if you do that just for your own, like a Cartridge World account, will it automatically qualify for the reduced price? How's that done?
Okay, so for the reduced price, basically everybody who signs up now is on the reduced price. So Cartridge World is paying for a certain number of seats on EasyOrder and that they have not filled them yet. So if you don't have an account, you're automatically going to be put in the co-funded plan.
But how do you know if I just went to your cartridge order, for instance, let's get your generic?
Well, it asks you what franchise you're with.
Okay.
Right here. So if you click that, it knows to put you in the $35 co-funded.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's automatic, and you're still going to get the 30-day free trial. At the end of the 30 days, it just bills you at the end of the 30 days to get you going. But there's really no. I mean, you can call and cancel anytime. But like I said, most people for $35 a month, it's just another tool in their tool belt to help the market, and $35 is nothing. So I've had certain people that have one really large client that needed kind of hand holding and something better than what everybody else has, and they've used EasyOrder for like one really large client, and they don't use it for anybody else. I mean, that's a horrible way to use EasyOrder, but for $35 a month, it's if you have it for that one customer, it keeps your best customer, then it's worth it. But I tell everybody to put as many people on it as they can.
Hey, Kat, question.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I have my credit card in there. I'll be using it for 2 years. I have my customer base, and my credit card expires.
Yeah,
easy. Do I lose that account? Do you have everything on a platform or something?
Yeah, so everything's backed up, but I mean, like basically, we have a billing system that's separate from EasyOrder. It's a third-party billing system, and so like if your credit card is in here, and it happens all the time, people's credit cards get compromised, or maybe they just need to wait a couple days or whatever else. We basically, once we hit your credit card on the month when we run it, if it declines, we just send you a decline notice like, hey, your card declined, and then we'll try it the next day. If it declines, we'll say, hey, your card declined again. And then usually people call us and say, oh, well, my card's compromised, and we just say, hey, call us back when you have it, and we give them as much time as they need. So we're really not about turning people off. We're about keeping people on and working with them. I've even had stores come to me and say, hey, look, my business is not doing really good right now. I can't afford anything else. And I've told them, hey, look, I'll tell you what, I'll give you EasyOrder. And I just did this with the cartridge roll recently. I'll give you EasyOrder for 6 months and let me work with you and your sales staff. And if you're not doing more business at the end of the 6 months to offset the cost of EasyOrder and basically just turning your business around, then we'll turn you off. But everybody I've done that to has ended up paying me by the end of the 6 months because they've gotten more business and they've kind of turned around their slumping sales by really digging into EasyOrder and using this with their customer base. So we're not about turning people off. We're about keeping people on.
Kat.
Yes, sir.
I've got an existing customer that I originally set up for like a 90-day order frequency.
Mm-hmm.
I can't figure out how to go back.
Sure.
Quote for a customer.
Sure, no problem.
Change that.
Basically, you just want to go to, I'm going to go into the demo account. You just go to Manage Customers, and then these are the list of customers, but then these are all their order forms, okay? So like, for example, this is Pizza Planet, and they have 167 order forms under Pizza Planet. So if I wanted to go in and change any one of their order forms, you just click on the store name or the location name, and here's the order reminder right here. So it's under the location name. Let me go to that again real quick. So you go from home, you go to Manage Customers, you find your customer. I'm going to go to Pizza Planet. I'm going to go over to Order Forms. I'm going to click on the link. This shows me all of Pizza Planet's order forms. I'm going to click on the location name for the one order form I want to change. And then I want to change that reminder to whatever I want. And then save.
Yeah, you got it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And if you ever need any questions like that answered, we're always available. I actually, as the business owner, answer the phones on Tuesdays and Thursdays because I like to talk to my people and I want to make sure that everybody's getting taken care of and I stay in the loop. And so, you can reach me on the support number on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We have really well-trained sales or support reps that will help you any other time. This help button will start a support ticket. Anytime we recommend that you do this rather than email us stuff because this goes into a support ticket system to which we have to check them off to be that is done, that is complete. And so rather than emailing us, just do a support ticket request or send an email to support@RemanResource.com. That will also go into the support ticket system. There are 2 requests. One is just general support, like how do I find my order reminder, tab, send that through. We'll respond with instructions on how to do that. Or there's the other thing, if there's a new product that comes out and you go to add it to your customer's order form and we haven't added it yet to our system, you let us know. We'll do the research. We'll find that cartridge. We'll add it to the system, and then we'll let you know, and then you can add that cartridge. But we don't want you to do any of the work. We want you to just go, hey, this new thing came out. We'll research it. We'll add it to the system, and then you can add it to quotes and order forms, and then everybody else can use that printer as well. Any other questions?
Yeah, one more.
Sure.
When we get orders that come in, you've got a status update on those orders.
Yeah.
And you can resend a confirmation of orders.
You can.
Does that just come to our store, or does that go back to the customer too?
If you send a confirmation again, it'll go to the customer, and you'll get a copy. But this is the manage orders page. So this is the order I just did. And so you can click on the order, and you can take a look at it here. And if you want to, resend the order, you can email it back to the customer, or you can print it out, or you can create a note for it. This is just in here for me as an admin. But you can also see the response from the point of sale. So if the point of sale received it, you'll get a success. Some people have credit card processing with EasyOrder. We do have credit card processing available. So if somebody checks out with a credit card and they're using that in EasyOrder, it'll come through as paid. So you can see that as paid in there, and it also will come into the point of sale as paid. We don't have credit card processing available for everybody at Cartridge World. It's kind of a case-by-case basis. So if a Cartridge World gets a customer who's really huge and they have to have credit card processing, we'll get with corporate and see if they're allowed to use credit card processing. If they are, then we'll put that on.
We didn't think it was going to our customers, so we set up a dummy account with our email address in there, and when we sent an email for confirmation that we received their order, that confirmation didn't come into ours, like it was going to the customer.
Well, there are different ways to set that up, so I just have to see your setup and see how you're doing that. And so if you want to get with me on the side, and we can kind of look at how you're set up and how you're managing that, and then if there's a problem, we can take a look at it. But usually it's in the setup or the forward or whatever it is on the email side.
All right.
One thing I do want to say to anybody who uses the system, this to-do list is your friend. It has everything that's going on in your system kind of all at once, whether you have an order that's received or you have quotes that need to be followed up on. Everything's here in the to-do list for you. We also have notifications that are really important. The customer changes their contact information. A quote comes through without something priced in it. You really always want to daily, at least once or twice, go to your to-do list. A lot of people rely on the email side of the system a lot, and that's the one thing I can't control as a software developer is if an email gets to you or not. I had a customer, a subscriber who all of a sudden they stopped getting emails from the system, and we had no idea why. They were not getting quotes. They weren't getting orders. I mean, you can always come in here and look at the orders so you won't miss anything, but their email wasn't getting the orders. And it took months of trying to figure this out, but we figured out they had a Hotmail account they were using as their email, and Hotmail switched over to where if you're a business and you're trying to email a Hotmail account, you have to pay Hotmail in order to do that. And which really pissed us off because, it took us months to figure that out, and we really did. But that's what I'm saying. We can't control the minutia of emails. So whether an email comes late or if there's a server update on your email server that has nothing to do with us, we 99.9% get the email to you, but on the cases where it doesn't, it's usually because of the email company that you use. And so that's why we suggest you check the to-do list at least daily. So when you see orders here, they'll be received in real time. And so when you get an email, I've sent an email to somebody before and I sent it at 11, but they get it at 5 in the afternoon. I'm sure that's happened to everybody here. If you go to the to-do list, you'll see it as it comes in. So if I order something at 11 a.m. and you check this at 11 a.m., you'll see the order rather than when it comes to your email whenever it gets there. So I did just want to touch on that because a lot of people rely so heavily on getting the emails orders, and you really do want to come check this to-do list because this is everything that happens here is in real time, and it will never get lost, and you'll always get it 100%. So I just wanted to kind of touch on that. All right. Well, thank you guys for your time. I don't want to go too over my time, but I appreciate everything. If anybody has any more questions, you can always reach out to me. RemanResource.com is our page. All our contact info is on there. And here's how you sign up for the free 30-day trial. You just click on that. And then all our contact info is up here and at the bottom and everything else. We also have the demo videos and all kinds of different things you can look at. Features and pricing, if you really want to dig into our different features and what we do. You can check out all our features, frequently asked questions, things like that. But again, this is just one of those things where this is a tool that every cartridge world needs to have in their tool belt to market. And we feel like over time, it's not just an order intake system, but it's a way to market your business. And it's a proven way to market your business because after 12 years, we're still in business and people are still, loving what we do. So I appreciate everybody's time. If you have any questions, just let me know. Renzo, I'll get you some links that you can send out to some different people. Awesome. And thank you guys very much.
Thanks a lot, Ken. Appreciate it.
All right. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Bye.